Morning. Excuse me. This is Jim Whining, and I'm an ordinary man talking today about paper or plastic. Some of you may remember there was a day and age when we used paper to carry our groceries. We used paper to write on. We used paper for so many things. And then all of a sudden, there became a great expeditiously uh, exercise in plastic. Plastic became the big terminology of the future. And all of a sudden, those paper bags that you got at the grocery store turned into plastic. And plastic was all of a sudden replacing everything you saw. Cartons of milk that had once been in paper became plastic. Everything became plastic. And of course, now today, as you know, there's now plastic in our bodies, in our bloodstreams. And all of a sudden, plastic has also begun to occupy huge mounds of land, water, and literally everything you can see is being polluted by plastic. Because we thought a few years back that plastic was the answer to a cheaper expense, saving trees, and most importantly, a stronger product than paper. Now time has transpired and our eyes have been opened. And for some of you now, when you go to the beach, you don't see the beautiful water and the sand. You see mounds of plastic bottles, plastic wrappings, plastic apparatus used to hold together uh, 6 packs of pop. All of a sudden, plastic is just unbelievably showing up in areas that are really once beautiful and protected, now polluted. I know myself personally, my wife and I have a small farm here in Jackson County, and it is so depressing to go out and see the ground and the grass and the birds and all the beautiful things of nature. And on the ground, it's covered. And you have to constantly walk out there and pick up plastic bags that have been used by grocery stores, convenience store, everything. They have literally began to slowly, before our very eyes, pollute our countries and destroy our water, our land, our vegetation, and our animals. And of course, now attacking us, getting into our bloodstreams and our body. So when we made this decision years ago, paper or plastic, I don't think we really understood the consequences of plastic. Now, when you think of that choice, I want you today to think about that choice that has come up again. It came up in the 50s. It came up in the 20s. It's come up in Europe, in Russia, China, of course, and now in our country again. The question of what will help American people to live better, to enjoy life more fully. And the new plastic is called socialism slash communism. Because socialism stands for collective ownership of the major means of production. Communism says control of all means of production. So as you can see, when a person talks socialism, they're talking long range communism. And what does that mean? What is that really the plastics of the American political system? What does it really entail? Well, let's look at the history very briefly, because I'm just going to make it common sense. Look what socialism can do for you. First, socialism, and if you listen to the leaders of the socialist movement in the United States, they would destroy the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. They would destroy the executive, judicial, and uh, judicial, executive, and legislative bodies. They would. They would destroy the three branches of government. They would eliminate the Constitution. They would eliminate your Bill of Rights. So what does this say? This says, first, the collective decision by a group of people who have chosen by themselves to be the leaders will determine if you have any Bill of Rights, any protections, any safeties in your home. They will also determine what you're going to own or not own. And usually it's nothing. And they're going to determine what kind of health care or what kind of lifestyle you will have as a job. And so all of a sudden, the freedoms of a democratic republic, a democracy that is based upon republicanism, representation through democracy, democratic republic is what it's framed, all of a sudden is pushed aside, and all those things we have taken credit for and enjoyed these the past 250 years is gone. Listen carefully to someone who's speaking socialism. Because if they're speaking socialism, they're going to A, take away your property rights, take away your civil rights, and take away your abilities to make your own choices for yourself. The most dangerous political system on the face of this earth. I think socialism and communism far exceed the applications that have been done in the past in other totalitarian governments. This country, when you hear people advocating socialism and communism, look carefully at these people because these are people who are prepared to eliminate your rights as an American citizen. They're looking to eliminate your ability to own the house that you live in, the car that you drive, the job that you chose, the education that you receive, and the health care that you're provided. This is a very dangerous time. You know, we let plastic get out of control, and it's going to take years to repair the damage. Pollution is beyond comprehension. And now we have the other pollution, and that's called socialism. Do your obligation to defend this country and defend this Constitution. Don't let plastic take over politics because it will destroy everything that we as Americans have enjoyed for generations, regardless of race, color, or creed, regardless of whether you are a Christian like me or not. All of that will be erased before your eyes can blink if socialism is allowed to live in this country like plastic has. It will eat us alive. I want to end on a positive note. Today is August 13th, 19, not 19, 2026. Boy, that was something else. I was still thinking about the 1950s. I was a little kid. But today is August 13th. It's my wife's birthday. It's a special day. For those of you that are married, rejoice in that because that is literally what makes us whole in our lives, walking in that marriage that Jesus so glorified. Have a great day. Appreciate this day. Be wise. Use your vote. Encourage others to vote. It is the time to protect ourselves from another dose of plastic.